Hi, Ellen. Hello, everyone who's here. I'm so sorry that it's taking so long to get this working today. Shalom, everybody. Thank you for being patient. I had some major troubles with the Zoom just now, but I got it to work. Let me text Carol that it's all good. Hello, everybody. Shall we do some Maariv tonight, even though we don't have too much time left? Sound good? Okay, let me get my uke. I'll be right back. Okay. Thank you for waiting so patiently. Oh, we have another person who's here. Oh, good. Good. It's not able to stream to the YouTube or the Facebook. So if you hear of anybody having trouble, just let them know I'm not able to get it on there. Hi, Marvin.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm okay. I apologize for my technical difficulties getting this out to you guys on time. I'm gonna get it up. Today is day 12 of the Omer, so I'm really excited that I get to do this again today. Let me get up the Maariv, and we will start sharing the screen right away. Okay. Share screen. Share. Done. All right. Is that on everyone's screen? All right. Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Shalom. Welcome to Wednesday's Maariv service. It's nice to see all of you here. Marvin, Reba, Ziona, Ellen. Thank you so much for sticking by me, even though I was a little late today. Let's get into it, shall we? הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. Behold how good and pleasant it is for brothers and sisters and everyone in between to dwell together. Let the good in me connect with the good in others until all the world is transformed through the compelling power of love. And now we move on to our Baruch, our welcoming. Baruch et Adonai hamevorach. And you respond, Baruch Adonai hamevorach. Leolam va'ed. And I respond, Baruch Adonai Hamrach, Leolam va'ed. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, whose word creates the mysterious dusk of time, in filling the world with possibilities. In wisdom, you open heaven's gates, and with understanding, you change times and vary the seasons. And arrange the stars in the heavens according to your will, creator of day and night and the trembling in between time, who spreads out light before darkness and darkness before light, who creates day and brings forth nights, who separates day from night, who arrays the whole earth with glory. Holy is your name. Blessed are you for the creations that happen every day. And together we say, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha-Maariv Aravim. Yes. Now, we come to the part where we are talking about everlasting and eternal love. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha avchavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadeta. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוך בינינו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, נשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובכם נגע ימם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. Your love has embraced us always, in wilderness and in promised land, in good times and in bad. Day and night your Torah sustains us, reviving the spirit, delighting the heart, informing the soul, and opening the eyes, granting us a glimpse of eternity. Because of your love, we shall embrace Torah day and night in devotion and delight. Beloved are you, Adonai, whose Torah reflects your love. I want to say welcome to Amy and Ellen. Thank you guys for coming and being patient with me today with my tech troubles. Would you please read responsively on the right with me? In the stories of our past, you are revealed. In the laws you gave at Mount Sinai,
You are revealed.
in the questions that we ask and the answers that we might find,
You are revealed.
in the light that burns off fog and in the darkness that swallows grief.
You are revealed.
In my questing, doubts, and fear, and in the joy of dreams come true,
You are revealed.
in all the blessings that surround us, those seen and unseen.
You are revealed.
Blessed are you for opening our senses to all your revelations. You live in the glow of the heart. You live in the pain and the joy of life. You live when we choose life and blessing. You live in the still small voice of conscience. You live in our unending search for truth. You live in our breath when we unite and call you one. And all together, Baruch
Baruch
atah
atah
Adonai
Adonai
Ohev
Ohev
Amo
Omo
Yisrael.
Yisrael.
Excellent. Now we have come to the point of our service. Whatever has happened today, now we are no longer asking God, we are no longer requesting, we're no longer wanting. Now we are listening. We're listening as one people to our one God. Would anyone here like to lead us in the Shema tonight?
I'll do it.
Sure, Amy, go ahead.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Yehud, Malhuto, Le'olam.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Miss Ellen and Tinoki.
It was-
Shalom.
Shalom, everybody. Hi, Tinoki. I know I can't see you, but hi, Tinoki.
Tinoki's a pretty cat.
Yeah, I
She's
know.
kind of cute.
My pussycat's name's Bella. Tinoki and Bella have... I mean, I think Tinoki heard the sermon I gave about Bella. Did she not?
Tanoki listens to the services. She knows. Yes.
So, Tinoki, she knows.
She does know all this.
She's a
Every
genius.
time.
What do you want? She's your child.
What
a
she's
pretty-
thinking right
very
now
smart.
is, oh my gosh, the Via Hafta again? It's a classic. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצאתך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בעם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Would anyone like to read the translation of the Via Hafta? I'm sorry, I can't see all the hands.
I would.
Oh, sure, please go ahead.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. And these words which I command you this day, you shall take to heart. Teach them diligently to your children and recite them at home and away, night and day. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a reminder above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. Then you will remember and observe all my mitzvot and be held holy before your God. I am the Lord Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I, Adonai, am your God who is truth. Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Adonai Elohechem. Amen.
Amen.
Very well done, Siona. Thank you. It feels especially powerful to read that today as we begin Holocaust Memorial Day tonight.
Mm.
How hard is it to keep that in our minds sometimes? That we shall love Adonai with all of our might, even in the darkest, even when remembering the darkest. This is who we are, though. This is really who we are. Mi kamocha be'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder bakodesh, nora tehilot o sefele, nora tehilot o sefele. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Altogether we say, Baruch atah Adonai
I don't know.
Ba'al
God,
Israel.
yes, prayer.
Would anyone like to offer a tune for the Hashkivenu tonight? Just an idea. This is kind of one that
You would.
Sure, I'll do my tune. I'll do Craig's tune. That's my favorite. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufrosh aleinu sukat shlomecha ushmo tetzenu uvoenu Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Would anyone like to read the translation for us? I'll read it if no one has volunteers. Let us lie down in peace, Adonai, and we will arise with strength and clear vision. Shelter us under your wings. Guide us with your wisdom, and for the sake of your world, help us work for peace through justice. Then hatred and plague and war and famine and sorrow will disappear from this earth. Blessed are you, our comfort and shield, whose sukat shalom, shelter of peace, spreads over us, over all of Israel, over Jerusalem, and the earth made whole. This is a 5,782-year-old prayer about hope that still means the same thing today than it did at the very birth of our people. To me, this is one of my favorite prayers of ours. And it's a pleasure that I get to lead it with you tonight. Thank you. Now let's do the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yikadash Shemei Rabbah B'yoma divrach Yirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedechol Beit Yisrael Ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'yimeru amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach Le'alam ulam me'omaya Yitbarach v'shabach v'itba'ai v'yitraman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitala shemei kudusha brichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'yimeru.
Amen.
And now we have reached the standing prayer, the Amidah, We have spoken, we have requested, we have listened, and now we are ready to stand. No matter what happened today, the earth is turning. We have met the darkness where it meets everybody, but even where we are, no matter what's going on, we can find ourselves again if we stand and remember Jerusalem. We remember our home, our spiritual center. That's what this is about. Please join me standing in body or spirit for the Amidah. Let the strength of this community and the strength of our ancestors give us the strength to search for our path back to the Blessed One. Together we say in Hebrew, Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. O Holy One, open up our lips that our mouths may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, ve'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei HaKol, ve'Zocher Hasdei Avot v'Imachot, Umevi gelola livnei v'neihem leman shemo be'ava. Melech ozer u'mashiach u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, magen avraham be'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayeh kol atah, rav lehoshia, morid hatal. Mechakel chaim bechesed, mechae hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofe cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha bal gevurot, umidom melach. Melech memit u'mechayeh u'matzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman ata lechayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Or hametim. Your strength is forever, Adonai. You give life all things, you, the great Savior. You rain dew upon us in summer. You sustain us with kindness, with great compassion. You give life to all. You lift up the fallen, you heal the sick, you free the captives, you keep trust with those who sleep in the dirt. Who is like you, source of might? And who looks like you, the one who causes death and life and salvation to root? Who is like you, source of mercy? In compassion, you sustain the life of your children, and faithful are you who brings life to everything. Blessed are you who brings life to everything. And we have reached day 5, week 2 of the Omer. This is Hod of Gevurah. This little map you see on the right tells us what day we're in, and you start counting from the top left, going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 7, and then we'll go down the next. So right now we're the 5th one down in the second to left-hand column. We are Hod of Gevurah. And first, let's say the blessing. It's considered a blessing because counting from Passover to Shavuot, just real quickly, the 49 days between when we left Egypt and when we symbolically receive the 10 Commandments, it probably took more than 49 days, but let's say 7 weeks. We receive the 10 Commandments. And right now we are walking and purifying our souls spiritually as we go through the desert, as we come across all of the different responsibilities that come from being free people. Some of them are very complicated. In fact, 49 of them are complicated. Today's is Hod of Gevurah, which means humility within strength. First, let's do the blessing. Please follow along with me in the second from the top text box. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshenu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat haomer. And now we count the actual number. So far it's been 12 days. So in Hebrew we say Hayom shneim asar yom shehem shavua achad v'chamisha yamim laomer. Today is 12 days, which is 1 week and 5 days of the Omer. And Simon Jacobson writes this little ditty about the meaning of today's intersection. The results of discipline and might without humility are obvious. The greatest catastrophes have occurred as a result of people sitting in arrogant judgment of others. Am I arrogant in the name of justice, what I consider as just? Do I ever think that I sit on a higher pedestal and bestow judgment on my subjects below? And what about my students? What about my children? A judge has to be the most humble of creatures, recognizing that he sits in judgment not by his own merit, but because God gave the right to judge his children. And Jacobson suggests the exercise for the day is don't judge anyone unless you are doing so selflessly and with no personal bias. My question is, do you think that's possible?
No.
I'm not sure either, but perhaps the point of this is not that we are at a destination where we will suddenly no longer judge if without a bias or selflessly, but rather that we understand that every step along our journey, including this one where we are conscious of it, requires us to contextualize our freedom and understand that the strength we have to decide for ourselves what to do in life can also mean that we can be taken advantage of by our own ego. When we think our thoughts are better than someone else's, our worth is worth more than someone else's, we really have to keep that in mind, especially as the nation of Israel. We were freed from Egypt, the strongest empire in our area. And now, after the Holocaust, we have the modern state of Israel, and we are a very powerful people again. And it comes with a tremendous responsibility, that power. It's one which I think is, I'm sorry, go ahead, Amy.
How come Rutgers University is like a big college around here, and there's still anti-Semitism going over there around here? I can't comprehend it still. You know what I mean? Why?
Absolutely. And that's a perfect, thank you, Amy. That's a perfect example, because here is where we have to have strength and humility. We have to be strong knowing that we will never by ourselves stop anti-Semitism. We won't stop it at campuses. We won't stop it in religious services and in cultures. However, we can have the humility to know that maybe we don't have to stop it all. Maybe that's not what God is putting on our shoulders. Maybe instead, what we're supposed to do is count the Omer, meaning we're supposed to make sure that we ourselves are not doing to the Jews what Rutgers is doing to others what Rutgers is doing to the Jews right now.
I was just in the paper. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
No, it's
that
that university in particular.
My great-great-grandparents got killed in the Holocaust. I didn't know that till after my dad died. I was like, huh? Are you scared? You know what I mean? It's almost like the same thing. They just throw you in a gas chamber because you're a Jew. I mean, come on. In my mind, it doesn't make sense.
One of the things that's very important as Jews is that we have moments like this where we can come together and remember what really matters, what we can and cannot control. And we have to have faith. We really have to have faith that that which we can't control will be worked out by God in one way or another. And yes, I understand, Amy, when you see a massive institution with millions of dollars and so much cultural cachet endorsing anti-Semitism, it is just like a stab in the heart. And yet, we know that nothing they do will ever come between us and our people and our land and our survival. They never have won, and they never will win. And why? It's because we are who we are. We keep doing what we're doing.
And Rabbi,
yes.
We also have to be able to make judgments, though. We have to be able to judge situations, and we have to be able to make judgments of a people. Who is safe, who isn't safe. Just because somebody's wearing a uniform that says they're supposed to be safe doesn't mean that they're safe. And we have to think that people that are in plain clothes are not necessarily safe either. So we have to judge people all the time.
Absolutely. I think that you bring up a good point, which is the difference between judgment and discernment. I think Adonai has given us the ability to tell when there's danger, when we are really in danger. Like
Right.
Ellen said, sometimes we don't know where especially as Jews, we all know what it's like to walk into a room and have to look for the exits right away.
Right.
We do that. I've done that since I was a kid, and I didn't know that was a Jewish thing but it is. We know that we have a certain cultural memory of danger, and we have a very real and necessary need to protect ourselves in reality right now. And that's what we have to do. And there's absolutely no alternative but defense to that.
For example, look at the injustice system. I mean, look at all the rabbis that were
Right,
imprisoned in Russia, for example.
right.
Rabbi Akiba, Nelson Mandela, well, he's not a rabbi, but you know what I mean. Righteous people were imprisoned by
The
people who
world
were
is
supposed to
exactly.
be leaders of society.
The reason why we need these kinds of services is for exactly that reason, because it doesn't make sense to us.
No.
It's not fair. Nelson Mandela should never have spent a day in prison, and he was in prison for 27 years.
Right.
And yet, when he came out, he didn't have a bone of hatred in his body. And
Right.
he decided he did not want revenge. He did not
Right.
want to seek vengeance or become another dictatorship, like happens a lot in the decolonization process. Instead, he thought about the bigger picture. He had the humility to say, despite how angry I feel, despite how entitled I am to get back at these people, I have a vision for South Africa. I know what I want for my people and my country, and it has nothing to do with revenge. The cycle of violence, it needs to stop.
Exactly
Because
right.
he was on whatever his religious faith-based system was. I don't know exactly, but I can tell you that what he was doing in prison was what we are doing right here.
He has some Jewish blood in him. He's got to.
We would like to think so, I'm sure.
Right.
In
I
any
think in terms of faith, as you said, Rabbi, even in Fiddler on the Roof, when
That's
when
right.
the rabbi is asked, why do we have to leave? When is this going to end? And the rabbi answers, well, we'll just have to wait somewhere else.
Right,
That reminds me of that the faith was there, but you have to deal with it. You
right,
can't just throw up your hands. You have to
Right.
deal with it, even if we don't understand why.
right. Yeah, that's true. That's very, very
I think about a lot the families in the Holocaust and all of the descendants that would have come from them, and all of the medicine and the technology and the books and the love that could have been here on this planet that's not here. And there are a lot of people, I've met Holocaust survivors, who have a very hard time understanding how there could be a God if such a thing happened. I have no answer to that, because I don't think anyone has an answer to that. I don't think
No.
that's answerable. But
Well,
what
I think
can
there
say-
is a statement saying people who people who have written about this have said the question isn't why people didn't believe afterwards, is that how they kept the faith after the Holocaust. After all that had happened, they still kept the faith.
And the most important thing about that, from what I've learned from my experience with Holocaust survivors, is that they did not keep the faith perfectly. They would be washing dishes and have flashbacks. They would
Right.
be running down the stairs and trip and then want to strangle Mendele. They would have terrible, terrible trauma and PTSD. But the faith, the system, was so that we reorient ourselves to being Jewish again. And that's really maybe a large part of our religion is designed, unfortunately, to help us deal with these traumas that keep on happening and keep us going and help us focus not on rectifying all the evils on this world, all the effect of those who are not seeing the light of Hashem or whatever their religious preference is. There's a lot of that in the world, and we have to make sure that we are not absorbed by it. And that's what the humility of Gevurah is about.
Yeah, I think our job is tikkun olam. It's such a cliche, but it's just so true. And one mitzvah at a time, and we never know which one mitzvah might actually top the world, tip
Exactly.
the world in the positive end. So
Yep,
we
that's
have
true.
to
Ellen.
keep trying. Yeah.
So
It's really, really true. When I read something about my dad and I found out that's how my great great grandparents died, I was like, bawling my eyes out. Like, oh, you know what I mean? I couldn't
Yeah.
comprehend it. Why?
it's very hard to comprehend. And part of the answer today is we have to understand that there might not be a comprehension at the end of the tunnel if we keep thinking about it. In fact, there might never be anything at the end of that tunnel. Instead, we have to reorient our brains. Our brains evolutionarily are designed to look for danger, to make sure that we stay alive so that we can reproduce for the next generation. However, we don't have to be in survival mode. We can live spiritual lives if we choose to. And we move on. Please take a moment to get in touch with your body. Close your eyes if you like. And think about, reach down to that part of yourself that has been waiting to express its desires today, but it has no words for them. That most vulnerable part of you that would like attention, please give that part of you attention right now and soft kindness. And let God give a warm embrace to the part of you that you feel needs that the most. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lekol ha-shalom. V'tov b'necha livrecha et amcha Yisrael v'kol et uv'kol shach'a b'shlomecha. And together we say, Baruch atah Adonai hamavorach
Avarach et
amo
O
Yisrael
Israel b'shalom.
b'shalom. Thank you. B'shalom. That's really the emphasis here. Now we have the Kaddish Shalem. Yikra v'yikra shemei Rabba, v'yalma divrach yote, v'yamlich malchute, v'chayachon v'yomechon, v'chayed echol Beit Yisrael v'yimeru. Yehi shmei Rabba mavorach le'olam u'mei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabak, v'yishbar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekusha v'yimeru. Brichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, damiran b'alma v'yimeru.
Amen.
Tikabel sotem. Yeheshmei Rabba Mavorach, Yeheshmei Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'kol Yisrael V'yimeru.
Amen.
O say Shalom, Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'yimeru.
Amen.
Now we have the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latei gidula liotze
Reishi.
shalo asanu
Shalom
k'toyei
asanu k'tei
haratzon,
haratzon.
velo
Velo
samanu
samanu
k'hol
k'kefekado
hamishpachot ha'ama, shalo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, ve'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'chaya Adonai v'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihye Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You see, that's us there at the Kotel. We're part of that crowd. Now it has come time for our prayers for healing on behalf of everyone who needs it. I will go one by one in the Zoom and ask everyone to give their names of those who they would like to keep on their hearts during the prayer for healing. Reba, do you have anybody tonight? You're good? Okay. Marvin, do you have any names for tonight?
On Alma, Edward Johnson.
Edward Johnson, thank you. Ziona, do you have any Misha Berach names?
Carol Sutton, Probot Ethel, and all the people of Ukraine who are suffering from an unjust war, and survivors of violence, and everyone with COVID.
Amy, do you have someone to add to the Misha Beirach?
Yeah. Pam, Hazel, Rabbi Gali, Beth and her father. I think her father's still in the hospital. I'm not sure. Maddie, Albert Madison, Valerie Madison. My friend Janice is going through chemo. Marvin over here. Kathy Lynn Ford, Christine, Tamara, Joanna, Richie, Jamie, and Danny. Oh, and Carol Slotsky. She's in the hospital too.
Thank you, Amy. Ellen in New York and Tanoki, do you have anyone?
Thank you. All those who are suffering physically and emotionally, all those who are homeless, humans and animals. Sarah Bat Colleen, Jeannie Batwana, Bill Ben Ian, Gil Ben Clara, Perry Ben Betty, B Bat Etta, Tamara Amy, Beth Marvin, Rabbi Galit. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ellen Friedman, do you have anyone for the list?
Yes, Timothy Paul Taylor, Laura Frick, Kevin Frick, Melanie Kutnick, and myself, Ellen Friedman.
Ellen Friedman, I'll say for you. Let me take a look, see if our streamings are working yet. It doesn't look like anything's streaming. So on behalf of all of those on the Facebook and on the YouTube who wish they could say for their loved ones who are suffering, I would like to keep them in mind. And also you, Ellen, and you, Marvin. On behalf of the sick, we are grateful, O God, for the gift of life and for the healing powers you have implanted within your creatures. Sustain our loved ones through these days of illness and with the courage and fortitude they need to endure weakness and pain. Help us to find ways to show our love for them so that we may be an influence for good in their time of need. And may all those who suffer illness of body or mind know that Hashem is with them, giving them strength of spirit as they struggle to recover. May their afflictions soon be ended, and may they return in health and health to family and friends. And we say together in Hebrew, Baruch
Baruch atah Adonai Rofei
Haolim.
Haolim.
Blessed are you, Adonai,
Amen.
who heals the sick. Mishe Avoteinu Meor HaBracha Li'avoteinu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the
courage
to make our lives a blessing.
and let us say,
Amen.
One more.
Misha
Avoteinu Meor HaBracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May all of that healing energy reach everyone who needs it. And I would also like to thank Debbie Friedman of blessed memory for giving us something that sounds as ancient as it feels today. And we also have the Mourner's Kaddish. Anyone who is currently in mourning or remembering a yard site of a loved one, or has been visited today by the memory of someone who has been lost physically, please give us the names of those who you have loved and lost so that we can cherish their memory together. I will also go down the list right here and ask anyone here who has names. Reba, do you have anyone for the Mourner's Cottage? Okay. Marvin?
Francis Johnson, my father, Joseph Gruber.
We remember them. Ziona, anyone for the Mourner's Cottage?
My congregant at my former synagogue, Bill Lowe, who just passed away, and all those who perished from COVID and from violence.
Thank you. We remember them. Amy, are you remembering anyone today?
Mary, Mr. Bob, Rebecca, Lee's husband, Robert Weaver, Audrey, Scott Whitehead, best friend, Sally Kelly, George, Darrell, Tito, Francis Johnson. And can I remember my great-great-grandparents that got killed?
Absolutely. Today is the memory of all of them.
Diamante Nahama and Ellie Nahama, who got killed in the Holocaust.
We remember them. Ellen Friedman?
Yes, I'd like to remember Kathy Gage, Maureen McManus, Glenn Thorne, Mildred Friedman, Henry Friedman, Rose and Art Mandelas.
You remember them. Ellen and Tanoki?
All those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, and in honor of Yom HaShoah, all those who have fought and died to keep Israel free. Thank you.
We remember them. Let us remember those who have transitioned to the world beyond to eternal rest. And though these dearest of souls may no longer be with us physically, their journeys have been ever imprinted on our hearts and in our minds. Even with the passage of time, the memory of them we cherish and hold precious. And now we say the Mourner's Cottage together.
Yishkadal
Tadav Ramei Rabbah.
Bialman,
Yalma Vigal Tikudei Kamkaute. Kayeko Eko Efe Moro Israel. Bagala Kisrael Karim. Amen.
Yehei
Rabba Mirak Leo Maya. Yitbarach Vistar Vidar Visase.
Vitadar
Vitalel Vitalal Shmei Vidisha Viraku. Yehesho Miko Virpata Virka. Tushkabra Benechamata Da Mayra Meoma Vimru. Amen. Yehi Shava Bamin Kovaya.
Aleinu
Vialko Yisrael Vimru. Amen.
Say shalom.
Say shalom Minuma. Uya say shalom.
Aleinu
Vialko Yisrael. Amen.
May the memories of all those souls be with you, God, O Sovereign. Teach us to live wisely and unselfishly, courageously and fruitfully, in truth and understanding, in love and in peace, so that our remembrance of them will be more than mere moments of regret, but rather a catalyst for inspired living. May the names of those whose memories we cherish be for us a blessing, and may we be worthy so that those who come after may be likewise remember us for good, as we remember those who were unto us a blessing. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Tonight we begin Yom HaShoah. We've talked about many times. It is kind of the ultimate mourner's Kaddish of a day. And it's often very difficult for us Jews to get through this day, especially when we're living in a foreign country like we're in America, where we're walking around with this knowledge that this is what our day is about, and often it's unacknowledged by everyone around us. But I hope tonight's service has reminded us that we are never alone. The love that has been passed down from generation to generation, Lador Vador, can never be stopped, not by Nazis, not by Rutgers, not by nobody. We are a strong people. We have an eternal faith, and the best of our peoplehood is yet to come. I love you all very much. I'm very, very grateful that all of our relatives sacrificed what they sacrificed, our ancestors sacrificed for what we could have today, so that we could be here tonight to celebrate our Jewishness and our humanity with each other and with the whole world. It's more
I
than
mean, heck, we're all a family. Come on now.
so
We're all a big family over here.
exactly.
I just wanted to add one thing to all the people over my lifetime who've tried to convert me to another religion. My people died for my religion. Our people died for it. You think you're going to get me to be Christian? No way.
I
We
don't
got to
think
stay
so.
strong and stay Jewish.
Exactly.
Just my opinion.
I'm
Well, it's
staying
also the
Jewish.
opinion of your people, pretty much.
Yes, that's
Me
good
too.
I'm staying Jewish. I've been Jewish for 63 years. I ain't changing it now.
You know, I was interviewed by a very young, innocent college kid. She was 19, and she was interviewing religious leaders, and she was asking us all the same questions. And one of them was, "Why did you choose to be Jewish rather than another religion?"
I didn't choose to be Jewish. I was born of a Jewish mother.
I was born Jewish.
I explained, but in America, we're dealing with such ignorance, such deep
That's horrible.
miseducation, that she honestly did not know that what kind of history that question has, how we live with that question every day, how our ancestors died because they wouldn't give a certain answer to that question.
Mhm.
And I gave
There
a
are
very
plenty of people who
educational,
choose to be
historical
Jewish.
response without any of those feelings that we just, Ziona, what you just expressed is exactly how I
Right.
feel. But our job when we go out into the world is to be a beacon of love and hope for everyone.
Yep.
And we don't have to let them know how much they piss us off when they try to make us Christian or whatever. We don't have to let them know that. We can let each other know. But ultimately, we're Jews because we don't let things like that piss us off.
Right. I hold my head up high and be proud of it. There you go.
I'm very proud of us as a
Oh,
people.
I'm proud to be Sephardic Jew. Are you kidding me? I mean, come on. Proud of it.
Practicing
Come in all
Judaism is a
shapes.
choice, but it's not a choice.
It's not a choice whatsoever. And that's
What
really
you're
the
born is what when you convert, you're Jewish forever. When you're born Jewish, you're Jewish forever.
exactly.
You can say you're anything else, but you're
Right.
still Jewish.
And
Right.
even those who
You die a Jew.
exactly. And I believe, as from my experience speaking with Jews who convert, is they understand themselves to have been born Jewish as well. It just took a while to figure it out.
Right.
And so there's no such thing as becoming a Jew, or I really think that all those who convert were originally Jews when they came out of the womb. And it just took a while. It's like being transgender. Sometimes it takes a
I
while
was
to
just
figure out
going to
who you
say
are.
that, like being transgender, you're born a certain gender, and you're born
Right.
a mishap of a wrong body.
I'm very grateful for the converts in my life and in the life of all Jews who have made our people so much better for being a part of it. And can you imagine the courage it takes to think, I'd rather live my life openly as a Jew, even though I've never done it in my life, because that's who I am on the inside.
Right.
All of the scariness, all of the awfulness that we have to go through, they say, I am with you, because they're Jews too.
Absolutely.
And so we are really a very big family, a bigger family than we even realize. We have new members of our family coming in all the time as babies and as older people.
And all different ethnic groups too. We
All
can't
shapes,
just look at
all sizes.
we can't just look at them and say, well, you don't look Jewish.
There's
Right.
no
You
such thing
can't-
as looking Jewish.
You
There's no
can't
such
see
thing.
what's in their heart.
Right. Exactly.
It's very true.
But Jewish
funny
all my life, I ain't changing.
I was in Israel when I lived there. I had a friend from Ethiopia, and his grandfather told me a story about how one day, way back in the day in Ethiopia, a Jew from France had come to their village and wanted to pray with them, but they wouldn't let him in the synagogue because, as they understood it, Jews can't be white. Jews are black. All Jews they knew were black. There's never been a white Jew, as far as they knew.
Okay.
So who is this European coming to tell us who they're Jewish? That doesn't make any sense. And to him, it is just, and so we have that opposite. A lot of people in our country have the opposite reaction, thinking that they've only ever seen Eastern European descendant Jews, so that's what Jews look like. In fact, the vast majority of Jews are not Eastern European.
Nope.
How about that?
Thought you would like that little story from Ethiopia. It was common knowledge in Ethiopia for hundreds of years that Jews aren't white. So
Well, how about in the movie Jacob the Liar, My mom, I think my mom and my dad told me that my grandfather's nephew got killed like that. Why? Because you're Jewish? Give me a break.
It's one of those things where we have a lot of stories like that. And those stories, those people who died, whose lives were cut short because they had to fight anti-Semitism, their spirit lives on in us and in our services and in our purpose on this planet. Even when we don't think we personally have a purpose, we are carrying theirs with us.
We got a purpose. We do. Yes, we do.
So I
We're all
want to
from
say,
all over the place.
I really needed this tonight. I really did. And
Thank you. That's cool.
thank you.
Darabah, Rabbi. It was a
Thank you,
wonderful
sir.
service.
Excellent job. I mean, I got to give you A++, but
Shavua Tov, everybody.
Shavua Tov, everybody.
Boker Tov to Reba because
Shavua Tov.
Be well.
morning over there where she is. It's
Bye.
already tomorrow.